Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a 4x6 autumn mini album titled Autumn Has Come, and I'm using the digital version of the collection Hello Autumn by Carta Bella, and then some stamps and dies. So I started by using a die cut to or one of my circle dies to cut out the circle for the background. I prefer using my dies for circles because my dies have faux stitching and my silhouette machine just wouldn't get it as pretty as a die would get it. So anyway, I'm starting with that circle in the background, and then I'm adding some other paper pieces on top, and I've made sure that I ran a card around all the edges of every paper except the circle because of the faux stitching. It has enough dimension, and because it's a die cut piece, it has enough dimension in and of itself to give some shadow. But I like to roughen up the edges because I realize that it just gives the papers a lot more contrast. There's shadowing and all that. Then I'm also wanting to stamp. I have this autumn stamps. No, this is actually all 4 seasons, and so I want to put a little stamp there at the bottom. But then I realize it's actually kind of a 2-part stamp, so I needed to start with the bottom piece first before I stamp the autumn part there. And then I do have my stamp inks. I keep them upside down because that keeps the ink color at the surface of the pad rather than at the bottom of the pad. So that's why I always have them flipped around. It's not because I'm hiding anything or anything. It's just the way it's a habit. It's become a habit for me to always store my stamping inks upside down. I think it's from Stampin' Up. I got the idea from Stampin' Up. Their stamp inks come that way, but for me, I just flip around. And this is another kind of an acorn that comes with this other kit. So I'm kind of mixing and matching my different stamp sets here. I think the autumn comes from one, and then, well, they go together like they're supposed to, where you can mix and match your sentiment. It's for greeting cards mostly, but it works for my mini album here, my mini album page. This is an album about an autumn walk just the other day, and so I wanted to document that with a little album that I'm making for this. And I do like to work with smaller sizes rather than big 12 by 12 pages, so I like to work with smaller. And here I was still looking for stamps and deciding what stamps I wanted, and then I decided to go with one that kind of has a mushroom, and mushrooms are just perfect for autumn. It's the time when mushrooms often are harvested. At least where I come from, people go into the woods and collect mushrooms there and stuff. So anyway, I thought it was fitting with the autumn theme that is going on here. So I wanted to have that in the background before I started layering anything else on top of it. And I always make sure when I work with my stamps that I always clean them up pretty fast so the ink doesn't dry on them. And I like to keep my stamps clean so that I can keep them and have them for many years to come, hopefully. And obviously I'm adding to my stash, but anyway. So here, this car and some of the elements I cut out with my silhouette. That label I cut out with one of my label dies. That's why there's this tiny little white edge there, because I wasn't able to see exactly where the printed part ended through my dies. I get perfect print and cuts with my silhouette, and there's a video that explains how I do that. I'm going to link you up with that in the description box below. And so this pumpkin is another die that I wanted to use for this, and then I have this little flower. I made a bunch of flowers that will be able to go on various pages there, but I decided that this flower would be able to go here, and then I'm adding another flower on the other page there, and I think this is my 2 pages done for this part. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.